2006.
A good year that was. 2 years before the Great Recession. My parents were still together.
Oh, okay.
Wii didn't exist yet.
Uh-oh. Weed didn't exist?
Wii, the Nintendo Wii.
Oh, I was going to say Wii existed and weed existed.
No, Wii didn't exist till I smoked it in 2014.
You smoked weed for the first time in 2014?
Yeah, that sounds alright. No, maybe 2012 actually. So yeah.
Whoa.
It started in 2012.
Everybody drop the year that you first smoked weed.
And what apparatus you used to smoke it out of.
Yeah, I'll go
yours?
first.
Yeah.
2010
Okay.
or 11.
Mm-hmm.
And I used a bowl that I borrowed from the guy who sold me the weed.
Sick.
I said,
nice
I don't know how to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, here, borrow this.
Mm.
And then I smoked out of that bowl with my friends in my backyard twice.
Nice.
And then I went on a retreat for school, and I came back, and my mom had cleaned out my car and found it. And when I walked in, she was sobbing. And I had only smoked weed twice. I don't even think I had gotten high off of weed yet.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just so, like, I hadn't even really I had just, like, given it a try. And my mom found it and thought that I was,
She nipped that in the bud.
And, I mean, to her
You
credit.
don't smoke right now.
I don't smoke at all now, but to her credit, like, she found a bowl that looked like it had been used for years because it had.
That makes sense.
But I just borrowed it from some guy.
Yeah.
Who is in a bunch of cool indie rock bands now.
Sweet.
And he was a couple years older than me.
Can I
Let's
tell my
see.
first time before we go, or do you want to?
Yeah. I was just gonna read a few of the chat ones before they go away.
Let's do it. Yeah, I'll do mine after.
Okay. Let's see.
2014. I see some pipe.
14 pipe.
Joint.
2012 bowl. 2018.
Rock on. Anyone got the pen? Oh, I was about to say. I feel bad for anyone whose first time smoking was with the pen.
Yeah, me. Yeah, that's not even like really.
Some Zoomer
smoking.
shit.
Yeah. Frankie Muniz.
Oh, I loved you in Freaky Friday. I mean Liar Liar. I meant to say.
Oh, that's they did. Yeah, that's just what they named their pipe.
I thought you had some.
It was Frankie Muniz.
All right, whatever.
Isn't Frankie Muniz like a race car driver now or something?
He does race cars.
Yeah. First joint was 2021. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the only way that was worth it for me to smoke weed was blunts.
I smoked a lot of blunts in college.
Like, that's like really, like, eventually it got to the point where if I was offered anything but a blunt, I was like, no. And then I quit altogether. But.
It's also funny when I was on tour with Moxie and his crew would always smoke blunts, and I'd be smoking cigarettes or whatever, and they were like, they would always give me shit for smoking cigarettes, and they're like, man, you're addicted to nicotine, but they only would smoke blunts, and they needed to smoke like a blunt like every hour.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you're addicted to nicotine. Like, that is a full tobacco leaf, and there's a ton of tobacco, there's a ton of nicotine in there, and you're licking it and you're wrapping it, and like you're like getting so much. I get a buzz whenever I try to roll a blunt. I can't roll a blunt without getting a buzz.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I definitely had the thing, like, when I quit weed, like, once before I, like, fully quit it.
Mm-hmm.
And...
Did you quit weed, or did you just stop smoking? Like, what was your trajectory like in that?
Oh, no, I quit, like, on purpose.
Okay.
I started getting, like, the paranoia, like, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then the way to, like, wean off of it, and it's not, like, to me, I really do think that it's not physically addictive, because it was so much easier to quit that than it is to quit other things.
Yeah, like cigarettes or something.
But I used cigarettes to quit because I was smoking so many blunts.
Mm-hmm.
I just started smoking, like, cigarettes, and then, like, did that for a couple weeks.
Plus that oral fixation.
Yeah. It
I've
just, like,
used
helped
weed to
with
quit
it.
cigarettes, actually.
I feel like, yeah, it works either way. It's kind of like both.
I just roll like tiny joints.
Yeah.
My first time, I was a freshman in high school, so it was 2012. My friend, I'm not going to say his last name, my friend Ruger, his dad had a medical card, so he would grow it in his house. We went down by the creek.
Yeah.
And he brought a monster can. And we, like, totally smoked out of the monster can.
That is some Midwest shit. Smoking weed for the first time by a creek.
With the monster can.
Because we were right near a creek in my backyard,
Goddamn
too.
right you were.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because my parents' house is on the woods was the backyard.
Yep.
And there's a little creek there. We snuck out. The basement had, like, a window. Like, our basement, like, went up.
Oh, yeah, it was like the window was, like, kind of up high.
Yeah, it's like a tiny little window.
Yeah.
We climbed through that because my parents had the alarms
the
on
ding?
doors.
Yeah.
It would, like, ding in their room if I went out the basement door or the front door. So we snuck out the window and smoked in the backyard and then snuck back in. Yeah.
That was not my first time getting high. My first time getting high, I thought I was gonna fucking actually die.
Yeah.
I was really afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had like the worst cotton mouth ever. My friends would give me animal crackers, and that made it worse.
Oh, of course.
And my mouth is it's just like chalk in my mouth.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Nice.